Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the best 30 minutes of your day. It's game time with yours truly, Lo Parrish, along with the Saga illustrator, Fratello. Hey, doing, Coach?
Doing great, bro.
Of course, we're having a good night, and the MGM Resort Summer League preliminary round was complete Tuesday. Now the process of elimination began Wednesday with the Summer League. Let's get right to the highlights, shall we?
Looking forward to it.
Of course, starting with your former team, the Atlanta Hawks and the Indiana Pacers, there is the rookie Trae Young, always ready to shoot.
Rough beginning for the Atlanta Hawks.
Very rough beginning in the Portland bracket, and they found themselves down by a lot, but they would recover. We'll get to that in a minute. Aaron Holiday, his family is full of NBA players. He gets the and one, misses the free throw. Kentucky Wildcat, Poitras, 21.7 rebounds. Seems like the Pacers are just getting to the rim anytime they want to. There's Holiday again. Indiana up at halftime, 62-40.
But then everything started to fall apart.
Yeah, it did. Spellman, impressive, 13 points, 9 rebounds. They were down by as many as 27, the Hawks were, and then Trae Young starts dishing and distributing. Finds Tyler Dorsey.
You know, that backcourt for Atlanta winds up dominating 47-25 versus Indiana's starting backcourt.
Trae gets in the lane, 23 points, 8 assists. Hawks get the victory. Very impressive so far. A nice bounce-back game for Dorsey, who was kind of struggling.
When you're down 27, you come back and win a game, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing, and it's also a good thing when you have Jared Greenberg, who talked to the rookie.
Down 19 in the first half yesterday, come back, win 27 down today. What is it about you guys in this come-from-behind effort?
I mean, it's been working for us, but we don't want to get into that bond early in the game. I think the leaders in the locker room we got onto each other. That's not how we play. In the first half, we just got on it, and we wanted to turn around second half, and that's what we did, and that's how we grit out a big win.
Right, yesterday you were doing it with your spectacular shooting from long distance. Today the shot wasn't necessarily falling, but 5 fourth-quarter assists. What were you seeing out there that allowed you to play make?
Well, I think that's the beauty of my game, and the great teammates I have around me. I mean, every time I'm coming off a different thing, I'm seeing different defenses, double teams, and just trying to find my teammates and make the right play. And my teammates did a great job of finishing and making plays, and that's the reason why we won.
And how about having Tyler Dorsey back after missing the last 2 with a hip injury?
Tyler Dorsey played amazing today. I mean, he's a big reason why we won today. Without that shot making he did today, we wouldn't have won. And so I'm just happy he did his thing, and he was a big-time player today.
Well, Cher Carroll will be proud. The Cardiac Kids, the last 2 days after going 0-5, Kristen, they come from behind and 27 down to win it.
Thank you so much.
The Bulls and the Mavericks, there is a rookie that coach is definitely impressed with. We'll talk about that later on in the show, but in the meantime, he was taking on that not defending anymore, but he won the championship in college, and now he's playing in the pros at a very high level. Jalen Brunson, 8.7 assists.
Had a little bit difficult time shooting the ball thus far in the Summer League.
Yes, he has. Wearing Steve Nash's former number, he knew how to shoot it well when he played for the Mavericks, but there's Wendell Carter Jr. gets the tough fadeaway to drop. Dallas still up 17-11. Antetokounmpo, not that one. Talking about Costas, the younger brother. And then there is Antonio knocking down the corner tray. Chicago up by 1. Wendell Carter knows how to clean the glass and put that one back in.
He's a very talented offensive player.
Yes, he is. 19 points, 9 rebounds. That time, 2-point deficit, and then things start going wrong for the Mavericks. There's a turnover. Blakeney gets the jam.
You know, we talked about tired legs. Chicago shot the ball 49 from the floor, 45 from the three-point line, 94 from the foul line. Their legs are fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. A lot of minutes being played by the Bulls. Blakeney, 28 points, you see right there. Carter Jr., 19. Like I said, we'll talk about him later on in the show. More highlights, Sacramento Kings, Cleveland Cavaliers. There is the number 8 overall pick, Colin Sexton. Dishing and distributing early, finds the big man for the jam.
You got to like him a little bit. He has a zest for the game. He's a great competitor, Sexton, and so far, I like what you see in the Summer League.
And he definitely knows how to get to the rim, misses the free throw. What makes him so effective getting to the basket?
Well, he's fearless, okay? And he's got a body that can take the pounding right now. He's a youngster. He's going to get bigger and stronger as he develops within the program. But he takes the leadership role over very well right now for this team.
He has 16 points at the half. More Sexton. Putting on a show for the fans in Vegas. I'm pretty sure Cleveland's going to like that when he gets back to the 2-1-6. puts him to sleep. Top of the key, that's a J. He had 25 points, a game high, along with 7 assists. Cleveland gets the victory 96-84.
Cavs 3-1 thus far in the tournament.
Yes, indeed, they're impressive. Not pictured. Harry Giles ejected from that game from the Sacramento Kings. Be interested to see what he does in the regular season. Speaking of regular season, there's a number of rules that are being tested in the Summer League, and it's going to be interesting to see how they are implemented. Coach, you have your thoughts on a couple of these that you're okay with so far.
Well, I like the coach's challenge, and we'll talk about that in a second coming up, but that shot clock reset to 14 seconds. You know, we want to speed up the NBA game so the fans aren't in there too long, okay, having food and beverage as the game goes on. So, on an offensive rebound, instead of being reset to 24, you set it to 14. It forces teams to get into something more quickly, whether it's a sudden pick and roll, an isolation, a quick hit into the post area. They've got to come up with something and create in just 14 seconds.
Now, going back to the coach's challenge, we see this on the screen right here. Now, number one, do you like this? Do you like everything that's laid out here?
I like the idea that the coaches have an opportunity and know there will be no flags, right? You told me.
No flags.
Well, how do they do it?
So specifically, I actually saw this happen in the Summer League. The coaches have a button that they can press at the end of the scorer's table. Once they press the button, as you will see on the screen, there's a green light that lights up, and you see it right there.
Family Feud. Hit that button. There it is.
There it is. Green means go, and that is how you challenge in the NBA.
So I like the fact that the coaches have the opportunity, if they feel that there was a missed call, I can take my one shot at it if I want, and if he's proven correctly, you get that challenge back again.
So if you were coaching back in the day, how often would you have utilized?
I would use it every game of the season. Every one. It would have been a challenge going on. Okay?
Indeed. We don't want to slow down the game anymore, though. Right.
Look, I don't really think the fans notice that extra 30 seconds or 45 seconds. I don't. But I understand, you know, because of TV, because there are time constraints, there are other shows that come on after a scheduled NBA game, that the commissioner looked into it, and they had to try and find ways to tighten this thing up and make it more compact. And if the game went on too long, like people were complaining about baseball being too long of a game to sit there, so now your time in pitchers, like how much time they get in between each pitch.
Regardless, we all love drama, and we want to see great things happen in NBA. Speaking of great things happening, there are a number of rookies that have been putting on a show so far, including the #1 overall pick. But what about the other rookies that have caught our eye? Myself and Coach, we're going to take a look coming up. We got to keep you in the loop on all the transactions with NBA.com. Make sure you pay attention to the free agent tracker. Go on NBA.com/free agent so you can find out what all your favorite players are going and what their destination will be for the upcoming season. Let's take it to the highlights. Summer League continues. The Nets and the Rockets, that afro is the nicest in the league. You like that, don't you, Czar?
I do like that. Yeah.
Jared Allen, ISO ball, goes right to the rack. How do you feel about this game? That's a strong move.
Open that court up, space it out, give them room to drive and attack.
The Rockets, quick passes. You know how they do. They like to share and shoot the three. The Anthony Melton, 17 points, 5 rebounds. Houston in control at halftime. Joe Chi going coast to coast. 17.7 rebounds. You always like a big man that has
a little body control right there with some hang time.
Very, very nice. He would make the free throw. Houston up by 10. Milton Doyle.
Uh-oh. Crossover. Big man didn't move his feet too well on that one.
Not too well. He had 21 points. Keeping it moving into the fourth quarter. R.J. Hunter rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein for the dunk.
When they space out, it opens up the lane. The big man by himself for the dunk.
Very impressive. The big man getting it done. Houston gets the victory against the Nets, as you see right there. Plenty of shots made for the Rockets. They have multiple players scoring double figures. 5, in fact, as you see on the screen. The Nets, not so much. As we continue on, the Clippers and the Wizards. Here's Jerome Robinson taking on Troy Brown Jr. Second half, Clippers are up 50-34. Devin Robinson, an impressive jam right there.
Coming up on the baseline, avoids the big man who really didn't look like he wanted all that much of that.
Wanted no parts of that. They call that making a business decision. Reggie Upshaw, 3-ball corner pocket. Fourth quarter. Reggie Upshaw.
3 of 6 from the three-point line for Upshaw.
It's a good percentage he's shooting right there. He had 24 points, 9 rebounds. Clippers up 83-70. And then, scary moment coming up. Troy Brown Jr. lays it up. Jerome Robinson goes down with an injury. If you squeamish, look away. You're looking at the replay. Goes down immediately. Managing that injury right there, and the Clippers get the victory against Washington. Impressive victory. Clippers playing well so far in the Summer League.
Happened to Washington's offense, 74 points. Come on, this is Summer League.
Summer League, got to step it up. Detroit, Minnesota, we'll see some offense in this game. Josh Okogie, the rookie, coming in, 20th overall pick, first rounder. We'll get to him in a second, but he's struggling. Pulls up for three. That one doesn't go in. He misses the corner three. He finishes with 7 points, shot 3 of 9 in the game.
You know what's so interesting? These guys play so many games in so few days, and they've had a week of practice. They have no legs left.
Right. Bruce Brown Jr., you saw him against the layup. Bruce Brown Jr. again, 15 points, 11 rebounds, playing well so far. We're going to talk about some guys that are playing well in the Summer League coming up in a second. Stick around for that. Detroit up 36-17 at halftime. But this guy right here, KBD. Second round pick from Ohio State. Are you impressed with him so far?
I like the idea. He's in attack mode all the time. You close out on him, he's going to buy you off the dribble.
No doubt about it. Base job, doing work. 16 points. But there you see Eric Griffin get the dunk. He finished with 10 points, 7 rebounds. Detroit, a low-scoring game right there, 64-59. It's going to be interesting to see how Minnesota does in the rest of the tournament so far. So we've been paying attention a lot to the Summer League. That's what we do here at NBA TV. And we've been paying attention to some of the players that have been definite eye-openers. I've been looking. I know you've been looking. So why don't we share with the viewers who we've been paying attention to, because there's been a number of players you've been impressed with.
Well, it's time to catch up on the guys that were drafted, and now you want to see just how good they do against their fellow classmates in this year's draft, and also against the guys who have been in the league 1 year or 2 years, who have that experience under their belt. Now they come back, and they should dominate the Summer League. But it doesn't happen all the time.
No, it does not. It does not always happen the way you draw it up. But let's start with the #1 overall pick, who is, of course, expected to live up to the expectations and the hype.
And I think so far this summer he has done just that. He's averaging 16 points a game, 11 rebounds a game, shooting 67%. And he does it in a variety of ways. He runs the floor, agile enough to get to the other end, not afraid to hit that face-up jump shot. He's pretty much dominated every one of the big men that he's faced thus far in the Summer League, and that's what you would expect from the #1 pick.
That's definitely what you expect. But then the #1 market media-wise, the New York Knicks, they have an impressive rookie in Kevin Knox, who seems like he's dunking on every play, getting to the rim whenever he wants to. How impressed have you been with his game?
I'm really happy for him, because if you remember back on draft night, the boos that were coming out of the New York crowd, but that happens every time with the New York crowd. But this young man, 19 years old, has really shown that he's got some game, whether it's from the perimeter, whether it's his ability to go inside and finish. He's big enough. He's strong enough. He is going to be a very good basketball player.
Seems like he's taking the game of basketball a lot more serious. Remember him at Kentucky? He seemed to be a little bit thicker. Now he seems like he's trimmed out just a little bit more so far in the Summer League.
You grow up, you mature, you understand that now this is your job. You have to be ready to compete against the finest athletes in the world. You better get your body in shape.
Of course. And then the Chicago Bulls first-round draft pick, Wendell Carter Jr. Defensively, I've been impressed. But what have you seen from him so far that impresses you about his game?
Well, I'm glad you like the defensive aspect of his game, but to me, looking at a guy who can play with his back to the basket or face up and make that little medium-range jump shot, he has great footwork. He's not afraid to attack the rim. He's a big target down low for those guards to pass into, and he's a presence in the lane area. This just goes along with the perimeter guys that Chicago has. You get a guy like this coming along where he can play in the paint, score on a regular basis, and then help defend the rim at the other end. That's a big guy.
Definitely a big guy. Has been very impressive. But Boston Celtics, we know they draft well, they develop well. An impressive guard that we've seen is Jabari Bird. Now, he's been kind of hidden past years on a two-way contract, but he's been able to excel so far in the Summer League.
You're really high on this young man.
Very high on this guy. I mean, of course, I was there covering the games and talking with Derek Fisher, five-time champion. He knows a little bit about backcourt play. He was just as impressed as I was.
Well, if I'm right, this guy was a second-round draft pick coming out of
Cal.
Yeah, and you've seen him now, and you came back raving about his ability. In fact, You already got a Boston Celtic uniform on him, and you took a couple off the other guys that Boston had. That's how much you like him.
Well, I mean, just seeing how quickly he could elevate. He seemed very smooth, very relaxed out there on the court. The Boston Celtics clearly think highly of him. During the conference finals, they took him on the road, and he was able to sit on the bench and get that firsthand experience. So, yes, I'm definitely high on him, but, you know, Derek Fisher is too, and he's pretty credible last time I checked.
You know, I just want to warn you about something. This is Summer League, and I can remember way back my first year in Summer League, one of our players had 22 points the first game, and I said to the GM, maybe we should sign him to a 2 or 3 year deal. I don't know if he made another basket the rest of the Summer League. So just go nice and easy.
Of course, I'm going to take it easy. I got to respect the OG right here on set. As we keep things moving, going on to the Miami Heat, Derek Jones Jr., we've seen him fly off the screen in the NBA dunk contest on All-Star Saturday night, but his actual game is starting to stick out more than just his dunks.
He had no game per se, but what he was a tremendous athlete. 45-inch vertical jump. You mentioned the slam dunk competition. But once Miami made the commitment to him and they signed him to a 2-year deal, this guy has been in their program, let's call it, the summer program, and now you start to see, you know what's really developed? His passion for the game. He loves the game so much more now than you ever saw before. His skills are developing, working with their coaches every day. This guy's a real prospect.
Definitely a real prospect. Hated to see him go down. Hopefully he'll be able to recover soon and get back on the court for the Miami Heat this season. Well, the defending champions. That's right, the Minnesota Lynx led by Maya Moore. Would they get the victory tonight? Stick around. More Game Time coming up.